Another one I haven't mentioned is the leaf punch, which I will show in a second. Give that a good hard press. What I'm going to use to stick these together is pin flare glue. Before I start sticking it together, I'm going to stick the gemstone in the top stamen in the centre. As it happens, down here I do have some little gemstones which are ideal for this, and I find the bigger ones seem to fit best. So after I've nicely shaped that, I'm going to flatten it out a little bit, just to put the gemstone in the middle. Now I do this first because I want to push down quite hard on that to make sure it sticks. Because from earlier experience, I discovered that if I try to stick it on after I've put the 3D glue on, or the pin flare glue, you can't press hard enough for it to get a good stick, and it can sometimes fall off later. So stick it on first, you know it's stuck on. Now, for those of you who may not have seen this, this is pin flare glue, or pin flare glue gel. And it is similar to silicone, but it dries clear. You haven't used it yet, have you?
No.
No, it dries clear. It is silicone free, odourless, and it will remain in a syringe for 4 weeks-ish. It says, well, that's what it says on the packet. I've not had it long enough to try it out yet.
Is it easy to get into the syringe?
Dead easy to get in the syringe, because that fits perfectly into the top of the syringe, right, just the right size.
And that would just pull out, would it?
Hmm?
That piece would just pull out.
Yes, once when it's empty, you only half fill it at a time, because otherwise you get really messy apparently.
Yeah.
So you put that in, give it a squidge, and then put the top of the syringe back in again. It also comes with nice handy, I always think of these as fish things.
Yeah, sardine cans.
Sardine cans, yeah. So you can just wind it down to get your glue up. Then, it doesn't dry up in here, as I said. You can use this on the back of your flower, pop it onto the next layer, pick that one up, pop this on. It's so much easier than silicone using.
Yeah.
Pop that on there. And because it's a wet glue, it takes about 10 minutes to dry. You can swizzle it around.
Oh, so yeah, so it dries quite quickly.
Yeah, it dries quicker than silicone. And that one on there. Onto that one. You can see, you can fiddle around with it to get it to the right shape you want. Then carefully, you have to be careful at this point because you don't want to squidge it all again. Slide it over somewhere safe. Put it on the front there. And just leave it to dry.
Right.
There you go. For those of you who are unaware, you can actually use Copic pens to colour in diamante embellishments. So you can start with a clear one, and then whichever size you want.
Change it to whichever colour you want. So I'll do one of that size.
Sometimes it takes a little while for it to dry. You have to make sure you go away from the edge.
It's as easy as that.
While you're doing that, I'll just punch out a couple of branches. This being the branch punch. As you can see, it's a nice delicate looking branch. I just have some green paper here. You can use, actually patterned green paper is quite nice for it, without too much of a pattern. Punch out some green leaves. Just bring over this flower I've just created. You can see quite easily, quickly there. get quite an effective looking flower and leaf pattern right from the beginning. They're not just good for using on their own, you can use them to embellish anything you've got, because like a lot of these little cutie girl stamps you get at the moment, a lot of them are embellished with flowers, and you have difficulty finding the right colour flower to go with the right colour
dress or whatever.
Yeah. With this you can use the flowers of the matching paper set to embellish what you're doing. I think that's almost dry. It is. That's how quick that dries. It's almost dry now. It's amazing.
See, that's one.
While we're here, we're also going to show you, because I know some of you are having difficulty lining up the border punches. This is a Martha Stewart Valentine lace punch. The smaller border punches that come in this size, and you've got the new bigger deep edger punches, which are this size, just to show you the difference in the punches. It's quite a size difference. First off, pop your paper in, roughly up to the edge. I normally try and just see if it lines up to the pattern on the top. Very roughly, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go right up to the edge. Punch it down. Then you move your paper along. I'll try and lift it up to show you. And you line up the cut-out piece on your, or the bit that's left on your paper, with the gaps, the white gaps that are on the border punch. That way you should get a continuous border. Like so. And you just keep going along, lining them up. If you want a longer border. Also new in from Martha Stewart, you don't just have to do the borders around the edge now, you can do the corners as well, because that's always a problem with the border punches. You can never get a nice border the complete way around your page. They've now thought of this and created these punches where you do borders and corners. Now for this to work properly, you do need to have the correct size paper. And my cutting mat is on centimetres, and because it's American, it's all done in inches, so I'll just flip my mat over and cut out the correct size piece. I'll use one of these I've not used yet. It has one of the sizes, it does say in the packets what it has to be. Of course, all of these are available on the website, www.thecraftycow.co.uk.
And in the shop.
And in the shop, yes. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 inches, because I can remember that that's one of the sizes. I think it's something like 3.5 inches, 5 inches. I can't remember the next size up. I'm using the slider cutter. A lot of people like the look of this. If you type in slider cutter on the website, that will pop up, because I've called it slider cutter on there as well. I think its official name is the rotary line cutter.
Sounds a bit boring.
Doesn't it? Slider cutter sounds far more descriptive. Now with this, the punches come like this, and you flip open the corners, so it's nice and easy for storage. That's the good thing about these, because this one as well, the sides flip up like that.
Oh yeah, that's like this one. I mean, that would be huge, wouldn't it, to store in your craft cupboard. But if you can just
flip them now, they're a lot better. And it takes up less space on the shelf when I'm trying to display them.
And it means you can get more in your shopping bag.
Yeah. Yeah, they fit nicer in your trolley, in your basket.
Exactly.
Trolley. I wish people did have trolleys in the trolley.
Trolleys.
A couple of people should have had a trolley, really. But right, you do the corners first. So you just slide it in until it won't go any further. Ooh,